Hello everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Charlie and I help people manifest the things that are meant for them in their life. And I'm going to be sharing with you in this video 5 principles that automatically activate when you follow your excitement. Now, following your excitement is the key to manifesting what is meant for you. And before I get into these principles, I'm going to share with you why that is. We all have something known as our higher self. So your higher self is simply a more expanded version of your consciousness, and it's not bound by the constructs of space and time like we are in this dimension. So it can see your life from a bird's eye point of view, and because it can see your life from a bird's eye point of view, it can help guide you. Let's say, for example, you're in a maze and you want to get out of this maze. Your higher self is like an eagle flying above the maze, so it can get you out of the maze in the easiest way possible. And the way that our higher mind guides us is through our excitement. That's why when you follow your bliss, you follow your excitement, whatever that might be, is you start to activate your own unique energy. And that's when the manifestation process really starts to begin in any area of your life, by simply following your excitement. So that could be starting a new business, it could be traveling, it could be anything that you truly desire. And it doesn't need to be a big thing to start off with. Your excitement can start small. You can go for a walk, watch a movie, read a book, meditate. Whatever the most exciting thing is for you, do that, because that's how your higher mind actually guides you. And the energy of your higher mind connects to your physical body and connects to your physical heart. And that's when you get the ping of excitement. That is the literal compass of your higher mind, is to follow your excitement. Now, when you do that, there are these universal principles that are built into the fabric of reality that automatically activate when you follow your excitement. These aren't things that you have to think about. They just automatically happen when you follow your excitement. Now, when you stop following your excitement and stop doing the things that light you up the most, is these principles start to switch off. But that's not a problem. All you have to do is start following your excitement again and they switch back on. So I'm going to share with you each of these principles, and they give you a sense of almost hope about what happens when you start to follow your excitement and manifest the things that are meant for you. So principle number 1 is the driving force. So as you follow your excitement, you're going to get this almost eternal sense of energy. You're going to get this constant energy that is always there. People often talk about discipline and, having a lot of discipline in your life, and that does work in some ways, but sometimes you don't have the energy to do that. But whereas if you are following your excitement, is you don't need discipline, because there's nothing else that you would rather be doing. So that energy is constantly there for you. So that's the first principle, the driving force. The second principle is the principle of synchronicity. This is when you get exactly what you need at exactly the right time. People, situations, money, everything will just fall into your lap through the principle of synchronicity. You just seem to be in the right place at the right time all of the time, and everything tends to work out. What people call lucky, or the right opportunity, always seems to work out in your favor when you follow your excitement, because this second principle will activate. The third principle is the path of least resistance. The nature of the universe is always to use as little energy as it can. In other words, it always takes the path of least resistance. So if you are following your excitement, it will take you to what you want the most through the shortest path possible. So again, if we come back to that maze, and your higher self is like an eagle flying above the maze, it will guide you out of the maze in the easiest way possible. If we're not connected to our higher self, if we don't follow our excitement and we try and just use our logistical mind, this is what causes us problems, pain and suffering, and we end up getting taken down a road that is much longer. So for example, if you're in that maze, it's like falling down a hole, going the wrong way, scratching yourself on some thorns, and you get more lost in the maze. Whereas if you follow the guidance of your higher self through that excitement, you'll be taken down the path of least resistance. So that's the third principle. The fourth principle is the principle of connectivity. So this is when all of your excitements are actually connected to one another. You might think, oh, this is my excitement now, and then your excitement changes. And as your excitement changes, you think that it has nothing to do with your previous excitement, so you think it's a waste of time. That's not true. All of your excitements are connected to each other by this invisible thread, and you don't always know how or why they are connected until you look back. So you might go down a certain path for a period of time, which is your excitement, and there are certain lessons and skills that you have learned from that path, and then suddenly your excitement changes, and then you get taken down a different path. You think, oh, that just seemed like a waste of time, the stuff I just did. No, you will notice that what you learned from that path will then be used for the next part of your excitement. So everything is always connected when you follow your excitement. So that's the fourth principle, the principle of connectivity. The fifth principle is the principle of support. This means you will always be supported when you follow your excitement. When you understand this, suddenly the fear of following your excitement starts to dissipate a lot more, because people are like, oh, I can't start my own business, or I can't go traveling because I haven't got the resources, I don't know the right people, I haven't got the money. You will always be supported when you follow your excitement, because when you follow your excitement, you start to embody your own unique energy. Your state of being changes, and you start to align with your core frequency, with your own energy. Your own energy by nature is always supported, always abundant. Okay, so the idea of not being supported is actually delusional. Now, the only reason why you will not be supported is if you're holding on to a deeper belief that you won't be supported. So if that is the case, all you need to do is learn how to let go of that negative belief and understand that you will always be supported when you follow your excitement. And when you understand this, this is the way that reality works, okay? Your higher mind knows what you want. It knows what's best for you. Okay, yes, you can take advice from other people, but ultimately it is always guiding you through your internal compass, through following your excitement. So it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. As long as it makes sense to you, as long as it feels right for you, understand that these principles are always going to support you in the direction that you need to go in. So I hope this information was helpful for you, and have a blessed day. Thanks for watching, and take care.